Hello students, this is your first video for chapter number 8 science, that is materials and solutions. Today we are going to discuss the first portion of this chapter. In your previous class you have discussed the various properties of matter and to be very much specific that you have gone through the different forms of water. Water exists in three different states. The solid form of water is called ice. The solid form of water is called ice, and the water is liquid in its normal state, as all of you know that. And water vapor is the gaseous form of water. These are the few simple concepts which you have in your mind. So, without wasting our time, let us now recall some other properties of water. What are those other properties of water? The first one is that water is matter. At first, you have to go through this particular word. This is matter. You have to understand this word properly, that is called matter. The things matter you have gone through in your previous classes. If you have any kind of confusion, try to go through those concepts nicely. Matter means the substance which has mass and occupies space is called matter. This simple sentence, I think it is there in your mind. So again let me repeat it for you. What is matter? Anything or any substance which has mass and occupies space is called matter. Now the question may arise that why water is a matter? Because water has weight, that is mass. Don't get confused between this word mass and weight. For your standard it is quite similar to each other. So there is no need to get into the details of the difference between mass and weight, which you will get it in your higher class. So the first thing is that water has weight and it occupies space. I think the first property is clear to you. So if anyone asks you that whether water is a matter or not, now you can answer that yes, water is a matter. Why water is a matter? It has weight and occupies space. Next one is that it has no definite shape. Liquids do not have any definite shape. Then what happened to them? It takes the shape of the container it is put into. Generally, the liquids take the shape of the container it is put into. I hope you have done this kind of things very much and the concept is quite clear to you. Next one, it is that water exists in all three forms in nature. Solid form of water is called ice. Water itself is in liquid form, and the gaseous form of water is called water vapor. It can change from one state to another by simply heating or cooling. So we can transform the state of water by simply heating or cooling. Next, water has the unique ability to dissolve a number of substances. The next property of water is that it has the unique ability. It has the unique ability to dissolve a number of substances in it. Next, when soluble things are added to water, a solution is obtained. So, in this sentence, you have to understand the first point which you have to understand, that is soluble things. What are soluble things? The substances which get dissolved in water are called soluble substances. So, I think the concept of soluble things or soluble substances are clear to you. That means the substances which are easily soluble in water are called soluble substances. The examples are, it can be sugar, it can be salt, and etc. So this type of substances are soluble, easily soluble in water, and those substances are called soluble substances. So if we can add soluble substances in water, what we may have? We may have a water solution. If I may dissolve sugar in water, I will have a sugar solution. Now instead of sugar, if I may add salt in water, I will have salt solution. So there are numerous number of items which are soluble in water. Try to figure out some of the substances which are soluble in water, and the opposite things also you should do it, that insoluble substances. What are insoluble substances? The substances which don't dissolve in water are called insoluble substances. The examples are sand, pebbles, chalk powder, dust, etc. are called insoluble substances. So, soluble substances and insoluble substances with some of the examples are clear to you. Next, the making of solution is affected by stirring and heating. So, the formation of the solution is affected by stirring. That means if you may take rasna powder in water, it will take little bit of time to get dissolved in water. But if you stir that with the help of a spoon, it will easily dissolve in that water. So that is called stirring. If you will add some pinch of salt in water, it will not dissolve easily. It will take little bit of time. So if you want to dissolve it faster, so you have to stir that substance, that so you will get a solution. So in the same manner, if you want to dissolve some soluble substances in water, you can apply heat also. That means by heating we can affect the formation of solution. That means either we can increase or decrease the time of formation of solution. So what we have learned? We have learned that a number of substances can dissolve in water to form solutions. So we have various substances which are soluble in water, and the resultant which we will have with us, that will be the solution for us. Here we will learn more about solutions. We will learn how to separate substances that get mixed together. That means in our next topic we will try to focus on that if sugar is added in water, how are you going to separate sugar and water? Suppose salt is dissolved in water. Is it possible for us to separate that salt from water or not? If that is possible for us, then how it will be? What are the what are the scientific methods we have to follow to separate salt from water? So before going into that much of details, at first we have to understand what are solutions, solvents and solutes. Solution, solvent and solute. How these three words are different from each other. They are looking similar to each other, but they have a huge difference between them. So you have to understand the difference between these three words properly, because in the next topic these three words are going to play an important role to understand the various scientific experiments which we will try to perform, and that will help you to understand the concept nicely. So I think let us stop the video, and the content of this solute, solvent and solution will be discussed in your second class. That should be your second video. So for today, my suggestion will be to you is to go through the properties of water. Whatever the properties today we have discussed, not only today, you have gone through in your previous class, try to recollect those properties in your mind properly. So that's all for today. Thank you.